Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So welcome. We don't read them reversed. What was I thinking? All right, so we have the Four of Discs, my favorite card. Absolutely my favorite card in the whole tarot deck. And why is that? Because the Four of Discs is first related to the earth element. I'm a Virgo, so, I'm going to be all about that dirt. But yeah, what is it really about? So for me, anyways, the way that I look at it is this restoring of balance at the foundation of your life. Okay. Oftentimes this is about our relationships, our household, our workplace, where we spend a lot of our time. This is also, and you can see in the card, it looks like a little fort. You can also see we have the elements in each side. And everything is squared away in perfection, okay? And this is kind of an old Masonic allegory or jargon, I guess. But this is what they would say, to stand on the square, right? For the square to be perfected. Now, in Masonry, they have this idea that you get a rough piece of stone, right? And this is called rough ashlar. And they chisel away at it, refining it down into a perfect cube, okay? And this is symbolic of the process of self-refinement. And so in this effort of perfection, not only in self, but within our physical worlds, our spiritual worlds, I see you having a lot of success. Now, the other part of this, because we have the moat around it, it really is kind of like you are going into monk mode, right? In the whole grind, kind of niche of videos and self-help kind of, lectures and these videos that kind of pump you up and whatever. I watch them sometimes just to get moving, exercising. But the whole grind set thing, they have this, they call it the winter arc or the going monk mode. And there's this idea that we don't do our healing in front of people. If you can think back to most people in your life who have, done things to better themselves, or they get sick and they have to, go and convalesce and this kind of thing. They're not usually interacting with you every day about these things. They are in their own world focused. You might not even talk to them for 6 months, a year, and then they come back and it's like, whoa, where have you been? You look great. How are you doing? And this is this card. This is this energy. Okay. Which is my favorite. Now, I know this intro is long, so we're going to hurry up. I'm just actually we're going to take a look here and see what the tea leaves have to say. And so we're in a place of really working hard to get things balanced, right? And so I'm looking up here and immediately I'm seeing we have a shepherd, and you can see with the cane, the shepherd's cane. And down here we have a devil character, but holding a beautiful flower. It almost kind of reminds me of maybe like an iris or something like that. Now we have another person that looks like a devotee. You can see the head. You can see it looks like they have a robe on. Their hands are up joyously towards the sky. And so let's kind of talk about what are these things? What do they mean? We also have the infinity or the 8, okay? Right there. So everlasting. The shepherd, right? The leader, the leader of others. So you're probably in a position of some kind of leadership. Maybe you're in management, maybe, you own a company, maybe you run a family, you might be the parent that is the primary parent, or something where you are in charge of some people. Okay. And I see you as somebody who really cares about your flock, right? You have a gentle touch. You are not somebody that likes to be cruel or brutalize others, but you can be stern. I think that's the thing here, is that there is a sense of being able to be stern, maybe a little cross, but you are not a person that rules with fear, right? So I see you as this kind of somewhat gentle, reasonable leader, okay? Now, down here, I see we have the devil with the flower, which seems like a really strange mixture, right? You would usually think of maybe a goddess with flowers, or maybe even a savior or something like this, a prophet, or somebody who comes with the light. Well, let me remind you. Now, the devil isn't always necessarily synonymous with Lucifer, right? But in this case, that's what we're going to go with. Now, Lucifer is actually the light bringer. And we know that. And we know the story probably. You probably do know the story of the fall of Lucifer and the other angels. And if you don't, I would go look it up. Go check it out. It's an interesting story. But here's the deal. And I'm not going to get super into the the wrongs or rights or what I believe or what people should, none of that, because I don't know what the heck I believe. I'm just trying to make it through my days. I have a lot of beliefs that are quite fluid, but Lucifer, or the devil archetype, right? We can think of this as the rebel. We can think of this as the person that's like going along with the system and then all of a sudden says, hey, wait a second, this is this is kind of stacked against us a little bit. Like, what's going on here? Like, this doesn't seem like how things should be, being managed, my guy, and then so maybe tries to organize a union or something like that, and then gets kicked out. Hey, kick rocks, buddy. You're not ending up getting all these people organized for some kind of right, like a holy war, basically. And so what I take from that is that this is not necessarily a dude that it's out here doing dirt and hurting people and, doing bad things. This is a spirit of change, even when it seems impossible. This is the spirit of, I'm not taking this anymore. I don't care what you're telling me. I don't care what the rules are. I don't care, what you think about what I'm doing or whatever. This is what it is. And I'm going to do what I do. And so I always do. I think of, the devil as kind of, being like some kind of rock star or something, or like a really big fan. But with the flower, which is beautiful, what it says to me is something like, when you see a flower growing through the crack of the sidewalk and you think, yeah, everything's going to be all right. Because you know what? Life finds a way. I don't care what our intentions are. I don't care what our plans are. I don't care if you think the best way to do this, the best way to do that. It's going to last forever. It's going to this, it's going to that. Nah. We're just guests here in life. I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but we're guests here, And life is going to find a way. No matter what we think, how we feel, what we believe, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So what I do feel like when I see this is that, yeah, you've been breaking through some old conditioning. Yeah, you are looking at some of the ways that you have had to exist, the coping mechanisms, the way that you react to things, and and maybe it is that you're somebody who hides away from your problems. Maybe you're very confrontational at times, aggressive. Maybe you just fully shut down. Maybe all of the things, but I feel like for you, it's kind of like this movement towards, I need to live authentically, or I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to pretend it to be something I'm not. I don't want to live in somebody else's idea of the world. I don't want to, continue to make myself small, to silence myself, to walk on eggshells, and all these kinds of things. And I feel like you're not going to. I fully believe this is like the era, where I wish I could post this meme. It is so funny. It's like a dumpster, like one of those ones that are at restaurants where you can pull it shut so people aren't like, dumping a bunch of stuff or getting in there or whatever. Well, anyways, the video starts as somebody using like a broom or something to like get the door and fling it open. And when it comes open, it's like, it looks like there is a raccoon in there. It looks like the raccoon's opening the door, like making this dramatic entrance, and coming out of the dumpster. And it just is so fun. It doesn't sound good. And obviously we don't want raccoons in dumpsters, but, it is hilarious when you see it and when they have the music on it and everything. Oh my gosh. So I feel like it's like you are making a dramatic reentrance to the world. You are all about your business, and your business is, living the way that you want to live, being yourself. Stop saying sorry for things, Stop, I don't even know, bending to other people's will. Doing things because you don't want to rock the boat. And I feel like that's where you're at. It's just, I'm done with it. I have a lot going on in life, and I have zero resources emotionally, physically, psychically to be basically pretending through life. And we all do this. We've all had moments where we realize, I don't know why I'm in this relationship. I don't know why I'm at this job. I don't even know why I keep showing up. Like, this is not, I have to be somebody I'm not all day long. And some people are able to do that, and they're willing to do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not judging anybody. But I know, as somebody who has had a couple of moments in my life where I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I'm gonna have like a full breakdown if I don't, start being myself. And you can even see that in my readings. My first readings are quite different than they are now. You see a lot more of my personality. I hope you like it. But also, let's see, we also have the devotee, and it looks like it says right? So I really see you totally turning towards your spiritual life, okay? Whatever that looks like. If you are involved in a religion, if you are part of a spiritual system, heck, if you're like opening up a commune or I don't know if we're allowed to say that on Facebook, or where are we? YouTube anymore. Where am I? On YouTube, my bad. YouTube. Intentional living community, I think, is how you're supposed to code it now. Maybe you're starting like a Reiki retreat, or, whatever it is. But I feel like this is it for you. This is the thing, right? First, it's I can't do this anymore. I want to be myself. I need to get back to my core being. And next part of that is I need to do work that fills me up. It doesn't just completely deplete me. I don't think it is, well, I know it's not healthy, right? But I don't think that we are supposed to be living in ways where it's just like you have to turn your brain off to deal with it, you know? You see a lot of this with like addiction and different kinds of distractions and whatever, just to like self-medicate ourselves enough to get through our days, to make it through work and screaming kids and, you know, parents that are getting older and need more help. And it's just lots of stuff. And I don't know where we got off the rails along the way. I'm guessing in the last 150 years or so. But, you know, we just don't have the time and energy to do it all. And to do even a good portion of it. A lot of people are. You're just, you know, out here numbing ourselves and trying to get through with so many things. I mean, you know, the internet is a big one. In content, big one. So good for you. Good for you for putting your foot down and realizing this isn't for me, you know. And also, when we talked about this shepherd, I feel like as you are on this journey of being brave enough to just be who you are, that opens a lot of doors for other people. How? Because you become a person that people experience and they say, oh yeah, that guy, that lady, she just is who she is. Maybe I can try being who I am in some of the places that I have to be, right? Maybe sometimes I'll practice just saying what I'm thinking, you know? And it seems silly, but I feel like so many of us are just, we're out there wearing masks. We're, you know, saying the things we think people want to hear. We're hiding who we are. We're afraid we'll be rejected or people won't, oh, that's weird. That's, you know, there's whatever. And it's so much weight to carry around. It's so tiring. It's so devastating to your soul, to your psyche. So good for you because you are part of the rising, Taurus. All right, I got to go. I can't even do my numbers today. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm running late. I was planting bushes for too long. I was like, just a few more minutes. Okay, 99 is our first lucky number. 22. 99, 22. Let's do a repeater. Come on. Nah. 84. Want. 84 is a good number, though. All right, let's see. That's it, Taurus. I love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. If you want to subscribe, leave a comment, or hit that like button. I would love to hear from you. Other than that, yeah, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. I got to go get my daughter real quick. Good night, good night, good night.